Hi, this is Austin with MaidCentral, and in this video, we'll be taking a look at the Property Management Group, or PMG system, within MaidCentral. This video will cover importing homes into the PMG, as well as walk you through how to request service from the customer's point of view, and additionally, we'll be covering all the tabs on the PMG page, as well as how to set up a PMG from square one, assign customers, and add users. First up, let's take a look at a PMG page inside MaidCentral, and we'll review each component. Go ahead and pop into MaidCentral and then head to the Property Management Groups page in the Customers tab. From here, we can see any existing PMGs, their city, state, number of assigned customers, and number of assigned users. The distinction between customer and user here is important. So a customer represents a customer account in MaidCentral that is assigned to this PMG. That customer account is used to hold homes or service addresses, as well as billing addresses, payment information, notification preferences, and much more. The customer account is usually the specific property if you're working with a true property management group with multiple properties, but it could also be an individual, a person, if you're working with someone with several vacation rental properties, right? So that's customers. Users, on the other hand, are individuals who are given access to the PMG user portal, through which they can request service at any of the homes or properties that are linked to that PMG. Okay? So accounts for both portals are mutually exclusive, meaning if I have an email address assigned to the customer portal, then I cannot assign that same email address to the user using the PMG portal. They must be separate email addresses. And lastly, we have the View As button, which will let you view the PMG user portal through the eyes of the user, right? So from here, we can dive into an actual PMG account by clicking the name. We have 5 tabs along the top here, and we'll cover each one now. So again, we have the Customers tab, so any customer accounts that are assigned to this PMG, they will display here, right? Then we have the User tab. Any individuals who have been given access to the PMG user portal will display here. And this is also where we'll go to invite those users to join the PMG. Okay, to invite a user, simply click the Create User button, enter a name and email, and then just click Create. When we click Create here, the system will fire off the PMG Account Create template, which you can tweak and edit from the Templates page in the Company tab, right? To find this template quickly, just put PMG into the search bar. Next, we have the Homes tab, which will display all of the attached home accounts associated with any of the linked customer accounts, okay? This will begin to fill in as we add customer accounts to the PMG. So if yours is empty, that's totally okay. Next, we have the Floor Plans tab, and this is where things start to get a little complex. So how this works is we will first create a floor plan, then we will process an upload, which will create and link home accounts to this floor plan. And we'll walk through this whole process step by step in just a sec. But for now, let's move on to the last tab, Name and Address, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's the name and address for the actual property management group company. Okay, with all of that out of the way, let's move on to actually setting up your PMG from scratch, right? First, we'll need to create the PMG itself and create at least one customer account that will be attached to the PMG. Again, the customer account will be either the renter. If you're working with, vacation rental properties, it'll be the owner of those rental properties. That would be the customer account in MaidCentral. Or it could be the name of the complex that is going to have, several hundred units potentially. That could also be the name of the customer account, just depending on your use case, right? Once you have those two components, the PMG and the customer, we can start. First, head over to the customer account that we'll be using to hold our home accounts. From here, head over to the User Account tab and select our PMG from the drop-down, then click Assign PMG. Next, we're going to use the customer account here to hold our home accounts, right? Usually those would be multiple vacation rental addresses, or multiple units within one apartment complex. Let's say in this example, this customer owns several vacation rental homes across town. Great, so we can have several home accounts on file for this customer here, or we can have none at all, since we'll actually be adding those en masse later when we process the import. So all we really need is the customer account attached to the PMG, and we're ready to proceed. Now that our customer is assigned to the PMG, let's head back to our PMG page and head over to the Floor Plans tab. From here, we want to click Create Floor Plan, and we'll give it a name and a short description. Then we'll assign our zone and give it a unique ID. This unique ID can be anything you like, but all of the floor plans will need a unique identifier here. I'm just going to go with something simple like numbering them 1 through 10. Once we create the floor plan, we'll have some new tabs along the top. This menu we're seeing here is inside the newly created floor plan. So we're getting pretty deeply nested here, so let's take it back from the top, okay? Starting from the home page, we'll go to Customers, Property Management Groups, click the name, click Floor Plans, and then click on the newly created floor plan name, and we're back. Great, so from here, let's click the Service Sets tab, and we will create ourselves a service set. Now, what we're doing here is setting up the available services that this client will be able to select from when they are navigating their PMG user portal. Again, any service that we build here will be available to request in the PMG user portal. So we'll just set up the service set just like normal, assigning a name, scope of work, default start time, default team, any preferences, and then lastly, we can add any specific work order notes that we will want to display to the technicians when they are performing the service. Next, we'll set the fee and budgeted hours, aka allowed hours or job ticket hours, and then we'll set the frequency. In our example, we'll set the frequency as on demand, since this service is for Airbnb turn cleans, let's say. Now, you can create as many unique service sets as you'd like for each floor plan, but quick note here, the more time you spend being tedious here, the more time you can save later down the line. Be detail-oriented when setting up your service sets, and when in doubt, click the MaidCentral logo button on the bottom left and pop into live chat to get some support. Next, let's head back to our PMG, Floor Plans tab, and in the top right, let's click Import, and then download the import template. I'm just going to quickly show you how this works here as an example. Once we have the template downloaded and opened up, take a look at the column headers for this spreadsheet. We'll be using this spreadsheet here to automatically build home accounts and assign floor plans to those homes and add service sets to those homes all automatically. Let's add some homes in here, and again, this could be multiple unique addresses for vacation rentals, or it could be several different units at the same apartment complex. Oftentimes, you can request a modified rent roll from an apartment complex that contains all of this data for you for easy uploading. Once we have all the data where we want it, let's save our spreadsheet and head back to the Floor Plans tab. Click Import again, but this time select your import file from your computer and click Load Import. Once it loads, we'll see each address from our template, and we're able to make any final edits before we link the floor plans to the homes. Make sure to select your customer from the very top, and then verify that each home account is attached to the correct floor plan. Once we're happy, let's click Submit. After it finishes loading, we can head to the Homes tab to view all the new home accounts that were created, and if we jump back to the customer account, we can actually see all those new home accounts here as well, and inside of each, you'll see the service sets that we built earlier have now been created for each home account automatically with all the details that we set up earlier. Now, now all that's left to do is actually invite our user. So let's go ahead and do that. Once we invite them, this can take some time to process, so be sure to let it do its thing, and when it's done, it will put us back onto the PMG page, and we should be able to go to the Users tab here to see our new user. This user will get an email allowing them to set up a password. After doing so and logging in, they'll be presented with this screen here where they can click into the customer name to view the PMG dashboard. From here, they can see upcoming jobs, pending requests, historical data, as well as submit requests for service. Let's go ahead and submit a request here for an Airbnb turn clean at one of our properties. First, we'll click Requests, then the Request Service button, and then we'll select the address that we want to be serviced. We'll get a pop-up that lets us pick from the available service sets that we created earlier, and then we can specify a date range that we're going to be available for this service and add any details and notes here before submitting. Once the request has been sent back into MaidCentral, we'll get a ticket on our main dashboard as well as in the sidebar here. We can click the request to open up details, and then, be sure to review these available dates here and any other notes. And then we'll click Create Job, which will take us to that specific service address with that specific service set selected for us. And all we need to do is go to the Jobs tab here and actually schedule the service. So let's schedule this one for Wednesday by double-clicking the date, and we'll see all our service information populate from the info we input earlier. Very easy, very quick. Awesome. And that's it. We've created the PMG, we've added homes and services, we've added users, we've submitted a request, we've scheduled the job, and let's remember to close out our ticket when we're done, and that's it, we're done. Thank you so much for joining me today. For more information on PMGs and setting them up inside of MaidCentral, please check out the dedicated support article at support.maidcentral.com and just search PMG. Again, this has been Austin with MaidCentral. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.